Hello everyone, this is Critic giving you Game 6 in a best of 7 series between Teams Evil Geniuses and Team mousesports, this time on Arid Waste. Now already off the bat we see a very early probe moving out from EG iNcontrol. I just realized I mixed up the colors, hopefully it doesn't confuse me too much. But these players are using their actual own accounts, so it is easier to watch out what's happening on these games. We have a EG iNcontrol spawning as the red Protoss, EG Machine spawning as the pretty in pink Zerg. Meanwhile, we have Morrow spawning as the light blue Zerg player over here, and then finally we have Morrow Strelok spawning as the dark blue Terran player. We now see a pylon currently warping it over here off on this side, and we may get some gateways out in just a moment. This is a pretty dangerous opening coming in from Control. So Control pretty much doing a blind forge or a blind gateway, and I'm not 100% sure if this is going to really work out for him, as normally the Zerg player does try to set up a hatchery down over here and he should be able to spot this, but with that gateway in position, I believe it is going to delay this. There is that standard good luck, have fun, and now that was being pinged by a Machine, so Machine already pinging this location here and now getting another gateway, so it is going to be a 2 gateway rush. This is going to be 10 probes, Zealots just pouring out of these 2 gateways in order to deal a lot of damage, and nothing too odd about this one probe currently wandering around. So the probe currently going after the spawning pool does see pretty much the spawning pool was placed down after the extractor, and that does mean that those Zerglings will be a little bit delayed. Back over here we now see one gateway will be up and running in just a moment. A second gateway should be up and running as well. More probes are going to be trained, another pylon being warped in over here, and now we are getting that chrono boost onto this one gateway. Zealots coming out of there at 28 seconds instead of 38. As the probe continues to start zapping away at this one spawning pool. So this one probe should actually see a lot of damage out there, as we now see Zerglings running across the map. So Machine already doing a very, very early Zergling rush as well, and will be able to put in a lot of pressure as more Zerglings still funneling down. So you can take a look at the Harvester account. The Harvester count is very, very low for Team EG compared to Mouse, but Mouse does not know that the amount of damage that will be dealt in just a second, as Zealots are now coming in. So Zealots coming in from iNcontrol. iNcontrol now trying to deal some damage towards those drones. Drone now down to 4 hit points there. Zerglings are going to be trying to come out as well, but a second Zealot and more Zerglings will be coming in. That is going to be a lot of Zealots very, very quickly. Zerglings need to try to deal some damage. Perhaps even an evolution chamber for Broodlings would be smart at this point. A Spine Crawler now trying to be morphed into play as well. Both sides fighting, both sides trying to deal a lot of damage. The Queen also coming in to get some damage as well. The Queen does have a decent amount of range and should probably be trying to engage over here or trying to finish off some of these Zerglings. The Zerglings are now going to surround this one Queen, and that is a problem, as this Queen is going to quickly fall, and now Morrow is in trouble. Doesn't have a Queen, only has a couple of drones. Drones may try to run out and try to live to fight another day, as those Zerglings are now trying to engage. He can time the attack in order to get those Broodlings out at the same time, in order to deal some damage towards those Zealots. One Zealot should get taken down. Oh no, the Zealots are not getting taken down there, as the Zealots are now backing off. Back over here, we do see Zerglings now trying to walk up the ramp. There is a front door seal over here, so Morrow Strelok is pretty comfortable sitting with 3 Marines here, and now Zerglings from EG Machine do have that the Speedling boost, so that Speedling boost will help them out tremendously. The main base of Morrow has now fallen, as drones and Zerglings now trying to simply run into the Protoss base and perhaps get some damage dealt as well. iNcontrol is going to be in a world of hurt, as drones are now coming in to fight as well. Probes being forced to pull off the mineral line as well. Both sides fighting back and forth, and now iNcontrol may be in a little bit world of hurt, as he is now very, very low on probes as well. Now down to 6 probes, as more Zerglings are now trying to come in and trying to reinforce from Machine. Those Zerglings are now going to try to get back in, and now drones fighting back once again. Those Zerglings are going to get cleaned up once again, and now more of those drones are going to go back and re-engage. There are currently only 5 drones though, so perhaps 1 drone should be saved, as these backdoor rocks from Machine are now trying to take down that location here. 1 SCV, and yeah, that SCV will get taken down in just a moment. Drones trying to fight back and trying to take down more of those probes to deal as much economic damage as possible, but iNcontrol has a little bit of help from Machine and is able to save his base and will be able to mine. So the longer this game goes, the better it will be for Team EG. Yeah, so Team EG looking pretty safe right now. There are a lot of Marauders and Marines, but no one's watching this back door here on Arid Waste. So Zerglings are now going to start pecking apart over here. Zealots are just staying over here, perhaps trying to bait Mouse Strelok into moving out with this mass unit. And now those Zealots are going to try to pull away. The Marines are going to try to give chase. The backdoor rocks are very, very low on hit points. And yeah, as these backdoor rocks fall, the Zerglings are going to be able to just run into here very, very easily. And wow, just beautifully done by iNcontrol, baiting out this very, very large, massive army, trying to give chase against those Zealots, and those Zealots still running away. And now in come those Zerglings. Zerglings now just tearing apart through so many SCVs, through so many mules. Marines are now falling as well. And now this army of Zealots and Marauders needs to finish off and take this game by trying to take down iNcontrol, but his main base is very, very much exposed. I do not see any additional Zerglings over here though, so Strelok has fended and was able to fend off that attack. We do see some Zealots now down over here. Marauders and Marines will be able to take down this one Nexus, but I do not see any probes outside anywhere else, so it is going to be very, very difficult for another base to be reestablished. The Nexus has been taken down. 2 of the starting Nexuses have already gone down here, and we are only 8 minutes into this game. Back over here, Zerglings once again are going to try to run by. Marines are in the mineral line, able to fend off against that attack there. And now in comes a large army from Mouse. Mouse does have the largest army out of everyone, 1650 mineral army. And there are Banelings here, so those Banelings are going to be able to deal a lot of damage. Perhaps the Banelings, if they're able to burrow or just time their attack absolutely perfectly, should be able to melt this Marine and Marauder army. Banelings now trying to come down. Banelings simply walking in. Stimpack was researched though. Many of those Marines have fallen. And now the Marines of Strelok are sitting very, very comfortably. Banelings, or sorry, not Banelings, the Broodlings now coming out as well. Zerglings now trying to swarm in. And no, some of those Broodlings were able to get some damage done. And now 2 Spine Crawlers offering firm protection. There is not enough energy for transfusion just quite yet. The Queen needs to back off. No concussive shells. Needs to pull away. And now more Zerglings coming in. And now Machine is in a world of, going to be in a world of hurt as well. As those Zerglings are now trying to swarm in. The Queen was taken down. Zealots from control now coming back in to try to reestablish a bit of a dominant force. We do see a decent number of Zealots over here. The Zealots should probably just get within range of the Spine Crawler and not let those Marauders kite them with those concussive shells. Stimpack has now been, Stimpack no longer able to be used as hit points are low. And now, taking a look at the unit combination, 16 drones for Machine, 15 probes for iNcontrol, 1 mule and 2 SCVs, and that is it coming in from Strelok. Strelok is in trouble. Marines now once again on the move, trying to take down more of those Zerglings. Zerglings able to just run away once again. Zealots perhaps going to try to hold off on this location here. We do see 1 or 2 Overlords, none of them able to activate any of those Zelnaga watchtowers. And now the Marines of Strelok with 1 Marauder trying to finish this off. And no, instead going for the main base of iNcontrol. I believe iNcontrol is at this point just funneling money into Machine. Machine does have a decent amount of minerals, so yeah, that'd probably be the safer call at this point, as these gateways are not really producing or training up any additional units. And this expansion, this is essentially an expansion for Machine. Marines and Marauders now simply coming in. Probes now trying to do a surround, trying to fight back against those Marines. Marauders dealing a lot of damage and able to soak up a lot of damage from those probes as well. And now in comes some Zerglings and perhaps some Banelings as well. So Zerglings and Banelings going to try to run into this location here. Zerglings perhaps going to just poke their head, see what exactly is happening. Marines are already coming in, trying to shoot them down. And now this would be almost a perfect location to hide some Banelings if it was not for the fact that there is this Overlord here. Marines and Marauders will once again snipe down another Nexus as the Zealots are now going to engage. Zealots, there are a decent number of Zealots, and now those Banelings may be able to get some splash damage. Oh, unable to splash and get any damage across those, but Zealots now trying to come in, and Zerglings coming in as well. So Zealots and Zerglings trying to fight back against these Marines and Marauders. Marines and Marauders using that movement upgrade from the Stimpack. However, needs the stim again, otherwise those Banelings are going to be able to catch up. Marines and Marauders trying to turn around, trying to deal more damage towards those Banelings. Zealots once again able to attack, and know those Banelings going to simply go straight into the mineral line and deal a lot of damage across multiple SCVs. Zealots still barreling their way through, and wow, somehow Strelok holding on to 5 SCVs, able to hold on to his expansion and still stay in this game. You can see that Strelok still had the larger army at this point. The hatchery, both players just running off, or both sides just running off of one base right now. iNcontrol no longer has any minerals in order to build anything else, so he's just probably perhaps microing or helping the micro. And now there are a lot of Spine Crawlers on this front door. So with so many spine crawlers on the front door, we can now see Machine is currently getting up a lot of drones. Just he should be able to play off of one base play fairly easily. And with so many of these Zerglings and spine crawlers on this front door, I do not believe this army stands a chance, especially as those spine crawlers are going to be able to get a lot of free hits in onto the. There we go. One Marauder quickly getting taken down, and some of those Marines as well, just getting slaughtered very easily. Zerglings now going to try to surround here, able to surround, pick off many of those Marines and Marauders. And now the army of Strelok is now down to 250, and this is not looking good. Once again, needs to try to perhaps build some buildings along this back door in order to make sure that Zerglings are unable to run in, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. A bunker is now being placed down for that additional +1 range. Supply depots are being raised, but I believe, yes, mass Banelings coming in. Banelings. Oh, so Banelings will be able to run in here in just a moment. Do we have the movement speed upgrade? Yes, we do have the movement speed upgrade, so those Banelings are going to be on a roll as they move into here. And we do see, one bunker. That bunker does have a little bit more range, but those Banelings going to simply be able to come in here, get a lot of damage, perhaps try to splash in, surround, taking down multiple SCVs, and Mouse Strelok says GG. Wow. So, Team Mouse had taken a very, very sizable 3-1 lead in this best of 7 series off the 1v1 games, but Team EG was able to take both 2v2s and now even up the score. This means that we will be getting a game from the ace players here on Metalopolis, and I believe it is going to be Idra. So Idra is going to be the ace player, and I'm trying to remember who the ace player is for Mouse, and I could look it up, but I don't want to ruin the screen that much. Going to talk a little bit more just because some players suggested that, or some viewers suggested I talk about the game, so sometimes you don't know how long the game actually is. But yeah, really, really early action coming in from iNcontrol. iNcontrol doing a proxy 10 gate and only mining off of 10 probes, able to put a lot of early pressure over here. And now by putting a lot of pressure over here against a Mouse Morrow, his base quickly fell. If that 10 gate had actually been placed against a Terran player, it would not have been nearly as effective. As you can see, Strelok had already walled in. So Zerg versus Terran, it is very, very difficult as a team, just because if they ever 2v1 a player, the Terran player normally cannot help his partner that much. Terran units are very, very weak early on in the game. They get swarmed by Zerglings. They don't have as much durability as Zealots or Stalkers, and that's why it's so much more difficult. Protoss and Zerg are generally, I would say, the better combination in 2v2, just because you have Protoss and Terran together is probably the better combination. Terran because you can wall off, and Protoss because you can force field. But you know, Zerg versus Terran, Zerg had no way of really guarding that ramp, guarding that choke early in the game. Morrow fell, iNcontrol then fell, and then Strelok. And then it was just a game between Strelok and Machine. Machine was able to just get into Banelings, get to tier 2, and all tier 2 was in order to get the movement speed upgrade on those Banelings. Those Banelings able to move much more quickly on a roll, able to just barrel into the mineral line here, taking down multiple SCVs, and that was the game. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this 2v2 game here on Arid Waste. I am 100% sure that there is a Game 7 because I made sure to check through all the other games as well. So yeah, there will be a Game 7. And yeah, Idra will be playing his match.